In my last video, I compared what AI could design for a dream home against what an architect creates for the same brief. It was a fun experiment. AI produced some stunning imagery, but it also showed how much of architecture lives beyond the surface. Things like structure, comfort, and how spaces actually work. This video is different. Today I want to slow down and walk you through my own design, the architect's version of that same project, without any competition and just design thinking. We'll explore how this home is shaped by the Texas landscape, the light, and the daily life of its occupants. I'll explain how the courtyard, the glass walls, and even the placement of each room came together to create something that feels both open and grounded, modern but warm. This isn't about comparing pixels or render quality, it's about the quiet details that make the building feel real, the things that AI can't yet understand. Whenever I start a design, I like to begin with just a pen and a piece of trace. It's quick, intuitive, it helps me think about how spaces connect before I get lost in the details. For this house, I began by studying orientation, where the light comes from and how each room should respond. Everything centers around this interior courtyard, a quiet space visible from nearly every part of the home. The bedroom, it sits on the northeast corner, positioned to catch the gentle morning sun, but shaded from the harsh afternoon heat. It's also tucked away for privacy. The office, it's placed near the front of the building, with views into the courtyard, but just enough separation from the rest of the house so you can focus and get into deep work. Along the west side, the hottest side, I place the utility spaces and guest room to act as a buffer against that hot setting sun. Every major space looks inward to that courtyard though. It ties the house together and brings nature and light right into the center. Once the plan felt balanced, I drew a quick elevation just to study the proportion. A low, human-scaled entry that blends with the horizon and the nearby trees. Even at this loose stage, you can feel the simplicity taking shape. Long overhangs, balanced lines, calm symmetry all around the courtyard. Once the sketch felt right, I moved into Revit to start modeling. I always begin by typing in the program list, making sure every space I need is captured. It sounds so simple, but it's amazing how often I finish a floor plan and realize, oops, forgot the bathroom. So I put this list here just to remind me of what needs to be here. With that in place, I laid out a few reference lines, just enough to guide the main axes and the courtyard alignment. Then I put the perimeter and interior walls, adding large glass panels facing the courtyard and the trees outside. Once I put the doors and windows in, the space starts to feel real. You can suddenly imagine light moving through the house. I tried a few different layouts for the master bedroom, but nothing felt right. Eventually, I just deleted the walls and came back to it later with fresh eyes. When I did, the new layout worked perfectly. Circulation felt natural, and the view framed the courtyard beautifully. After the plan was set, I moved to the elevation. Roofing is critical here. A low slope that keeps the house feeling grounded, but opens up to the courtyard for natural light. Deep overhangs help protect the glass from the Texas sun. Because this design leaves the structure exposed, I spent time refining how the beams and columns work together. This structure isn't hidden like in most houses. It's part of the language of the house, so it really needed to be thought out. Once the framework felt right, the whole composition came together. Open, balanced, and believable. I also really quickly just wanted to look at the materials that's going to define the home. This palette, it takes cues from mid-century modern design, warm wood, natural masonry, glass, and concrete. These are simple, timeless materials that focus on light and texture rather than decoration. The renderings capture that quiet warmth, afternoon light through the glass, long shadows from the overhangs, and reflections across the courtyard. It's less about realism, more about atmosphere. The house sits quietly on a small acreage in Texas. Open field, a few scattered trees, and a low roofline stretching across the horizon. From the front, it feels understated and private, but just beyond that low entry wall, the house begins to open up. At the center is a simple courtyard, the heart of the home. From here you can see straight through the glass walls, into the living room, and out to the backyard beyond. The courtyard isn't decorative, it organizes everything. Every space connects to it either visually or directly. Off to the left is the office, looking into the courtyard for light and view, but separated enough for quiet work. Next to that, on the west side, are the guest room and utility spaces. They act as a buffer against the hot afternoon sun. Functional, but important. The kitchen sits at the crossroads, open to both the courtyard and the living room. It's the literal social center of the house. The living and dining rooms open completely to the backyard. Glass walls frame the horizon, while deep overhangs keep the light soft and comfortable. In the northeast corner, the bedroom stays cool throughout the day, but catches a soft morning sun. From bed, you can see the courtyard and the trees beyond. And at the back, the house opens to a quiet yard, an extension of the living space. The roofline floats overhead, framing the sky and the field. Every part of the plan connects back to this courtyard, the anchor between light and shade, work and rest, openness and shelter. When all of those align, it stops just being a floor plan and starts feeling like a place, one that quietly belongs to its landscape. When I started this design, it began as a curiosity, a question about what AI could do and what it means to design something by hand, through thought and experience. AI can make beautiful images, but architecture is built on the quiet details. How water leaves the roof, how insulation keeps heat out, how sunlight moves through a room. It's those small decisions, structure, waterproof, proportion, that make a house real. And those only come from time, and from listening to the people who are going to live there. This home isn't meant to be flashy. It's meant to feel calm, balanced, like it's always been part of this Texas field. If you haven't seen the AI versus architect video that inspired this project, I'll link it here. That one explores how AI approached the same brief and what was missing. And if you enjoyed this kind of storytelling and design, make sure to subscribe. I post new videos every other week. Thanks for watching, and as usual, stay curious and design with intent.